Hello everyone, I'm Tim from Tim's PC and I build custom PCs to suit anyone's needs or budget. I also live stream my builds and repairs for transparency and educational purposes. So if you would like to get an awesome new PC and you'd like to get put together live, send me a message today. Alright, so tonight we've got another white PC, not unlike this one, although they're kind of apples and oranges in comparison because this is a high-end 5950X and RTX 3080 build. We'll be building one that's not quite as high spec, but we do have an all-white graphics card to go with it. So it's going to look more white than this, but it won't have this triple RGB power into the graphics card or anything quite that fancy. So it doesn't have 64 gigabytes of RAM, all of that kind of stuff. So I just thought because I said we'd do a follow-up and I'd show everyone what the finished product looked like once all the cables were tied down and looking nice.
Looks like Matt's PC again, looks beautiful.
Yep.
Indeed. So nice.
So I'm just following through by saying I'd do a follow-up on this one. So came up looking really nice. So, and even around the back, like all of those cables that we had, all just gets tucked away quite nicely back there.
It's pretty neat tied, actually.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going to put the lid on this one. And we'll power her down, and we've got another one to do a quick follow-up on before we get started. Don't hold it down, just press it once. It'll turn off, it just won't happen straight away. Alright, so we'll put Matt's beast down here for now, and turn our attention quickly to this one. So this is the one that I stuffed up with the memory. So, well, not just the memory, it's the memory and the SSD. So we've got a little bit of work to do on this one. Not much, but I'll do this live so you can all see what's involved. Yeah.
Nick says hi, guys.
Hey Nick, how you going?
Nick.
Yeah. Oh, Mick. Hey Nick, how you going? Mick. Hey Mick, how you going? I'll get it right eventually.
Your names are too similar.
Yeah, I think so.
Mick says Matt's kit looked awesome. Nice work, Tim.
Yeah, no, it came up a treat. Alrighty. So as you can see quite clearly there, the RGB RAM is installed. So that's all looking quite nice inside the case. But I made one other error with this PC. Oh. What's happening? Oh, memory training. I haven't turned it on yet.
Tim, Tristan says the work cover looks great.
Ah, thanks man, appreciate it. Yeah, it's a beautiful PC, and like I said, we're going to be building another one. Pretty much it's going to look very, very similar to that tonight. Oh, what happened here? This is Windows having a cry. because of the memory change. I don't like change. And a different stop code now. And another.
Tim,
Yeah.
question was to know how much was Matt's high-end PC worth? I'd like a similar one, looks shit.
It came to, I think it was just under 6,500, but that was with a 3080 that I got like a little while ago, and I didn't pay quite as much for it as as what they're going for right now. So that's the problem. Yep. I don't know if we're having problems with the Windows install and I have to install a new SSD. It's like, how much time do I waste with this before I just do a new Windows install? But no, it's worked. It's worked now. It's just memory training, and Windows having a cry because things aren't the same. Okay, so what we want to do now, we have, the situation is, we have this 500 gigabyte SSD with a Windows install on it, right? And we need to put it onto a 1000 gigabyte SSD.
So, Tristan wants to know, can I get a similar one with cheaper parts but like sub-similar? Because only games I play is League of Legends, Valorant, Warzone. What would you recommend?
Well, have a look tonight. Tonight is
the one that we're doing.
Tonight is sort of, yeah.
Screwing around with this one.
Yep.
It's probably more up your alley. It's got a 3060 vision.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And it's to i7. So.
Yeah.
How much was this?
We'll talk about that when I get to it. So, we've got to keep a bit of structure here. If not, it becomes unwatchable for someone watching it later. So what we're going to do here is we've got a WD hard drive installed, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Tools. We're going to go to Clone Disk. And what we want to do is we're going to clone this SSD onto the hard drive. Then we're going to remove that. Then we're going to boot into Windows on a hard drive. And then we're going to copy that onto the 1 terabyte SSD. You with me? So I could pull drives out of my personal computer and do this, but I thought it might be fun to actually do this with the tools and the software that was available and comes with this PC, and just so people know how to do this. So if you have a WD hard drive, you can download this Acronis True Image for Western Digital. It's only if you have WD drives. It only works with WD drives. One of the drives doesn't have to be WD, but one of them has to be. Doesn't have to have both of them, sorry, but one of them has to be a WD drive. And so Right now, I've gone into manual. We're going to select our source disk. So that's the drive that we want to copy. And so in this case, it is the Kingston one. So we want to select that and go next. Hey Ryan, how you going? Good to have you with us. So our destination disk is obviously our WD 1TB hard drive. And it's just giving us a warning that we've already got some partitions on the drive, but there's actually no data saved, so it doesn't matter at all what we do here, so that's fine. And we want to clone with a bootable OS on this machine, so we're going to select yes for this option. And proportional will probably be right. That's the size of the original partitions will be respectively changed to fit the new drive size. If the new drive is smaller, the partitions will be shrunk, and if the new drive is bigger, the partitions will be enlarged proportionally. So that's fine, we can do that. That just means that we have a 500 gigabyte SSD. It's going to clone that drive and put it on there, and because there's extra space on the drive, it's just going to extend it and make it 1 terabyte. So we're going to select next, and now we are ready to proceed. And this will start its thing. So what we're going to do now, we're not going to like watch this actually do its thing. I'm going to put this PC on the floor down here, and we're going to get started with tonight's build. So yep, it's starting. It's fine. So this will probably take an hour or so.
Looks pretty cool.
Yeah, looks awesome.
Is that RGB fans on the front?
Yeah. Yeah, 2 RGB fans on the front, 2 on the cooler, 1 on the back.
Very nice.
It's not even going to take that long, I don't think.
No.
No. But that's alright. It's pretty boring watching that, so now I'll just very, very carefully move this computer. So it's very dangerous to move a computer with a spinning hard drive.
The minute you drop it on the floor.
Yeah, that's not a good idea. There we go. Round 2.
I'll grab the box for you.
Yeah, we'll
It's pretty heavy. Did carry.
So I got this big box of stuff here. And so I thought we'd have a look at what we got here tonight. So we've got a Gigabyte Vision RTX 3060 graphics card. We have, of course, a Thermaltake 360mm all-in-one liquid cooler. We have the Intel i7 10700f CPU, 8 cores and 16 threads. We have some RGB extension cables. Couldn't get a set of I couldn't get a set of XPG ones, so we've got some Leon Lee ones here instead, which are also quite nice. Got a 1 terabyte SSD, gigabyte. We've got 16 gigabytes of Corsair Vengeance Pro RGB RAM. It's 3000 megahertz CL15. This is a CL15, isn't it? Yes, CL15 memory. Of course, we've got 6 white Thermaltake fans to go with this. For our motherboard, we have the ASRock Steel Legend B460. So, not doing much overclocking with this, so it's going to be quite fine for this build. Helps keep the costs down as well. And power supply, we've got a 650 watt Cooler Master 80 plus rated power supply. And this power supply puts out 648 watts on a 12 volt rail with 54 amps. Yeah, so it's a very big box.
Yeah, it's huge.
Much bigger than the stuff inside.
I reckon if I crouched over, I could hide in that box.
I
That's how
reckon
big it is.
I reckon you could. I reckon you could. Alrighty, so let's get into it. So, like I said, we've got this graphics card, but we're gonna install this last. Man, this is so light compared to the 3080. Just put that there for now. Obviously, these will be towards the end as well. But we can start having a look at this motherboard and prepping it. Come on. Oop. What do we get in the envelope? Oh yeah, we got a postcard.
I've seen that before.
Why?
Why? It's an act.
It's a legitimate postcard. I don't know why.
You can
You
actually
get some.
use it. Why?
Get some ASRock Go Faster stickers. Got an IO shield there. An instruction book. A bigger instruction book. I've got some M.2 screws. Got a solder cable, some solder cables there. M2 offset, M2 screw, M2 screw. And below everything is our motherboard. So we'll have a look at this board here.
Zip tied it to the phone.
So B460 here. This is not for the extreme enthusiast. This is just for an ordinary gamer. So we're not going to be doing too much overclocking or anything on this board. But that's what I mean. That's what saves you the $80, you know. Anyway, so on this motherboard here, we've still got decent heat shields on our MOSFET VRM and co-processors up here, which is always nice to see. But mainly with this board, we've gone with it today to fit our white theme that we've got going on here tonight. So as you can see, there's quite a lot of silver on this motherboard. White motherboards are very hard to come by at the moment. They're really popular, and I guess I'm not helping the situation by building these computers.
Reinforcing it.
Yeah, just reinforcing the trend. We've got a bit of plastic over here. Let's get rid of that.
Oh, there's more sticky on it than I thought there was.
That's plastic free, nothing over that. Just a bit over that. So we'll go around the board and I'll point out the features here. So we've got 8-pin CPU power, so this obviously powers our CPU and the associated systems. What reason why we've got a CPU power up here is because we need to ensure the CPU gets a nice consistent voltage, and when other parts start to draw power, it doesn't affect the voltages for the CPU, because you could imagine that ends up being very bad from a user perspective when your CPU doesn't get the power and it blue screens. So that's never fun. So that's part of the reason why you will see that as a separate sort of system there. Over here we've got a CPU fan header, and we've got another one over here as well, which is good. So two at the top there. We've got a 12 volt RGB, a 5 volt RGB. Got our 24 pin ATX power here. We've got our dual channel memory, channel 1, channel 2. We've got USB Type C on this motherboard. We've got USB 3. We've got a fan header, and what is that? Can't even make that writing out. I'll come back to it later. If anyone is curious, send me a message. We've got one fan header here, one there, so that's a total of 4, all positioned nicely around the perimeter there. I like that. We've got 4 SATA ports there and 2 more down here. Then we've got trusted platform module. We've got speaker connections if we want to use our post beep speaker. Got our front panel connections. These 2 little pins on its own are the clear CMOS pins. Another 2 fan headers right around the edge of the board, which is nice. USB 3 down there. That looks like a USB 2. We've got a 12 volt RGB, 5 volt RGB. We've got a Sony Philips digital interface header there, the 3-pin square. And we've got our front panel audio here. And we've got some relatively tall audio capacitors here. They are insulated, so that's good. So all of our audio system is always down this end of the motherboard here. So, and that is because audio is an electrical signal and it's subject to electromagnetic interference from other systems on the motherboard. So the engineers always put the audio down in this particular spot, and that's why around the back here you will always find the audio down this end of the motherboard. So even on an old computer, your audio is down the bottom here, everything else was on top. And so what we've got around the front here, we've got USB 3.2 ports. One is a Type C, which is good to have. We got 2.5 gigabit Ethernet on this. Not just single gigabit Ethernet, which is fine in Australia. I mean, none of us can really utilize that sort of internet speed. We've got a DisplayPort and HDMI port. Neither of these will be in use in this build. Got 2 USB 2s there, and we've got a PS2 port there as well for our front panel audio. Alright, so that pretty much covers the stuff around the perimeter. What we've got to talk about is the stuff in the middle now. So we've got another sneaky fan header around here. Also like the position of that around towards the edge of the motherboard. We've got 2 M.2 slots. We've got a little tiny CNVI Wi-Fi slot there as well.
Oh, true.
So we could plug in the CNVI Wi-Fi Bluetooth
Didn't
adapter
even notice
there.
that.
Yeah, so we could do that. I mean, I've got one available. So I think they're $30. So if you want me to put a Wi-Fi Bluetooth in there, I can do that for you. So like I said, we've got two M.2 slots, 1 and 2 under there. We've got our X16 PCIe slot. Then this one down here is an X4 slot, and we've got two X1s here, obviously. We've got our CMOS battery, and under here is where the B460 lives, and that is the chipset, and that is the part of the motherboard that interfaces with all of these other systems and communicates with the CPU. Just so it's everything that is communicated to the CPU is an orderly way. It's not just everything trying to communicate all at once. So that's essentially what the chipset's role is. So, and that covers pretty much all of the main features on this motherboard. So let's get started. So we'll start here with our memory. So our Corsair Vengeance Pro 3000 CL15 memory. Alright, really easy to install our memory. Just line it up in the slot and put it in. And so notice that I'm using one slot apart for my memory. There should be a diagram on the motherboard here. Jeez, can barely read that as well. There is a diagram there, but it's really so hard to read.
Do you need glasses?
No, I don't need. It's not that I need glasses. Trust me. You want to come have a look? Can you make out those words there? Like, I know what the words are, but I can't read them.
DDR4A1, DDR4A2, DDR4B1, DDR4B2.
Yeah. See how crap that is? Yeah. But I know that on modern motherboards, this is slot 1 and this is slot 2. These are the first two slots that you use. Alright, got our memory installed. Let's install our CPU. So we won't be using the stock cooler in this build, obviously. Never use the stock cooler for i7, i9. It's always...
You can have that.
I tested it once and was like, nah. Nah. I was skeptical, even when they bought out their cooler, I'm like, that's not enough cooler to do anything. And then I was like, hang on, Tim, why are you being such a cynical bastard? Why don't you actually give it a go before you like judge it? I was like, okay, well, okay, next customer that gets it, let's put it on there and see how it goes. Don't worry, I didn't make them my guinea pig. I bought them a cooler. I anticipated that if I didn't charge them for the cooler and it needed one, I'd put a cooler on there out of my own pocket. So we've got to be very careful dropping our Intel chips into the LGA socket. So it's the same socket that, like what the Threadripper chips go into. So LGA stands for Land Grid Array. It's just a fancy way of saying the pins are in the socket. That's what LGA is.
Yeah, I was going to ask what that meant.
Yeah.
Why don't they just say that?
Well, what the hell's a land grid array? That title leaves me with as many questions as it has answers. Like, I know what it is, but I'm putting my, like, you know, ignorant hat on.
OLS Ravi says love from India.
Hey man, how you going?
Don't give me 3090.
Oh man, I wish. We can't even get them at the moment. 3090 is like harder to get than 3080 right now. So, go figure.
Hope you're doing okay in India. I've been watching that on the news.
Yeah.
I work with people from India and their family have been sick.
Yeah, hopefully you're safe from bloody COVID. Alright, so here's our 1TB SSD. This is all it is now. M.2 form factor. You get these little things in up to 8 TB capacity.
Real tight. Oh, that one's even thinner. Holy
No, it's as thin as they all are.
no.
They're all that thin.
Why does it look different? Maybe
What?
it's the colour.
It's the colour.
I don't think I've seen a gigabyte one before. That's probably it.
This is on a bit of blue PCB.
It's not really blue. It's like it's blue, but it's green.
Yeah, it's a blue-green colour.
It kind of
But
looks like Snorlax, the same sort of colour.
yeah, that's a good comparison there. So we've got this Snorlax green SSD. Would we agree with that terminology? Snorlax green.
How many wines tonight? 2. Much.
Yes. Cat's just like, what are you doing?
I've been watching you for a bit.
He's just like staring up at me. Hey buddy, are you a cat? I think you're a cat.
He's waiting for food.
Yep. He's like,
Come on.
she's left the room, mate.
Dude.
She's walking towards the stairs.
Here he
Yep, there he goes. Alright, so it doesn't look like we need the other M2 offsets there. We've got an offset here for our CNVI Wi-Fi. Looks like we do need one under here, so let's just put that in now because it's so much easier to do it now than it is after the fact. Oh yep, so the whole piece comes off. Oh, no. Oh, yep. It's getting a bit stuck on the chipset thermal pad there. Alright, so we will install this M2 offset. Oh, we got a bit of sticky here over the there we go. Bit of sticky over the M2 hole. I'm assuming that's to stop corrosion in cases of long-term storage. So I'll put this little M.2 offset and screw in just in case Rhett ever wants to install a second SSD. me line this up just right. Good amount down on that thermal pad. There we go. So we've got our CPU installed, our SSD installed, our memory installed. So we might go and turn our attention now to the cooler and get that sorted. How many wires tonight? Ha, just as many as last night. Actually, no, not quite as many as last night. But there'll still be a 10 device daisy chain. If anyone wants Thermaltake RGB controllers, you can have them for free, just pay for postage. All right. So we've got our Intel plate pre-installed there, which is nice. And we have our AMD and Intel backplate. So we don't have to worry about any preparation here. These just fit nicely on the back there. We just have a little bit of plastic under the bolt there that makes contact with the board, but it sits on the back of that plate, which is insulated. So all we got to do is prep this. It's our bolts for later. Here's an AMD backplate, cooler bracket, I should say. LGA 2011. Okay, so we've got 3 notches here for Intel, and for LGA 1200, which is what we got here tonight, we're going to be using the middle hole. It's like tonight we're going to be looking through the round window. Who remembers that from being a kid? Silence. No, I don't know. I can't really see the chat. Christine's not in the room. Get in the hole. There you go. That's what we like to see. Okay, so we've prepped our back plate. So we can go ahead and slide that through just like that. We'll put our motherboard down. so it doesn't come out. And we've just got these feet. They just slot on like that. Just pull them down. We've got these 4 spring bolts. Leave them up there. Alright. So, we'll get some Arctic Silver 5 here. A trusty thermal paste that you've seen me use here for ages. And we'll put some oh, that's a little bit thin there. A bit thick there. Probably a little bit too much, but that's okay. It doesn't hurt to put too much on, it's just unnecessary. Hurts when you put too much on that it like leaks out all over the chip and stuff. Okay, bit of a tight fit with that chunky I/O shield there. Yeah, so once you thumb tighten the 2 corners there, it makes it a lot easier to go from there. Might want to change back to a regular piece so I don't thread any bolts. There we go. One fastened cooler. Let's untie these cables while we've got them here. And now we'll screw down these fans. Got some more cables to undo. Alright. Hey Shane, how you going? Nick remembers play school.
Play school. What?
I made a play school reference.
I miss play school.
I was like, Can't even remember what the joke was.
That show was fun.
Oh no, I was saying which hole we're gonna put the screw through on the back plate for Intel, and I was like, which hole are we gonna use tonight?
The arch.
Yeah. Christine knows what I'm talking about.
Round hole.
Yeah, it's like, let's look through the round window. So, it's pretty much the same plan of attack as last night. It's just getting a lot less crowded at the end. So we'll get this cooler prepped. Oh yeah. I know, it's fun.
Can't wait for it every time.
It's the funnest part. Because it's like, what do I talk about while I'm screwing in bolts on a cooler? I just... Something about the task completely kills all motivation in my mind to talk about things.
I've got to do this as fast as I can.
Yeah, basically, I'm trying to just get it done. Yeah.
That sounds so exciting. I have no idea.
Ah, awesome, man. Now this is going to look sweet, and it's going to run sweet as well. Alrighty, we've got our cooler ready. We've got our motherboard prepped. So we're already seeing a few cables around here now. But we got more to come. So we'll put these RGB extensions down on the ground. I'm going to put the power supply down on the ground for now, because the first thing we do is we sort out these fans. There's a lot of cables with these fans. If you're doing a 6-fan setup in one of these Leon Lee cases, it can get a bit hectic. Alright, so we'll also remove this here. Yeah, Rhett's going to be real excited for this because it's taken a while for his graphics card to get here.
Yeah, I know.
It's been like a week or more.
I've been watching it. And
It's
I'm
just
like,
been-
when is it going to get here?
Oh. Yes. They too tight?
Yeah. Yeah, just give me the screwdriver. This stuff's tightening up.
Come on.
Righty tighty, lefty loosey.
Yeah. Except, what's the exception?
Good question. I don't know.
Plumbing.
Ooh, yes.
Alright. So, like I said, the first thing I like to do is just take all the panels off this case and take that back panel off, and then the first thing I want to do is I want to mount fans inside this case, get it out of the way. So slide off that. I can just sit over there for now.
Rgb control.
Yeah, in every one. Yeah, I've got so many of them. You can have them for free. If you don't want them thermal take, I'll convert them to another plug for you.
Do you want like all these cables?
No, I don't need all of them. In fact, I probably don't need any of them.
There's a splitter.
Yeah, I know. They all come with a splitter as well. I've got plenty of splitters.
They really like pack in.
Mm-hmm.
How do you get them out so quickly?
Oh, I just ripped the box. Yeah, I think
I
you
just pulled them out and packets bolts went flying.
chuck us that box.
Yeah, you can do the
Yeah. So all I do is I just pull them out here, or I just rip the top open.
Yeah, well, I ripped the top open. Well, I didn't rip it open as much as you did. You got stronger hands than I do. Thick cardboard.
Excuses, excuses. What's Mick just said? He's been playing with his...
I've been playing with my MSF S2020 with my 58.
Microsoft Flight Simulator.
With my 5800X and RTX 6900X graphics on full settings as well. Epic.
How are you liking the 6900 XT? Because I get very few inquiries about them.
Shane's here.
Hey Shane, how you going?
This is, I had a little black big white build the other week. Rhett says that black build looked pretty fresh. I was on the fence about black and white. Decided white would match my room better. White's nice. It makes the RGB pop more, in my opinion. But black also looks nice. But yeah. It says twice before up about 600 boxes.
Yep.
Oh.
Yeah.
450 watts out, PSU 2080.
3700X.
I don't know why smoke is coming from my PC.
Yeah, you could probably get away. You could probably get away with a 550 and a 3080 and a 3700X if it wasn't like overclocked to all shit. But yeah, you wouldn't want to be, you wouldn't want to be running that at 550 plus a whole heap of peripheral devices and all that kind of stuff. But if you just wanted to make it run minimalist, yeah, 550 be like the bottom, be like the cheapest that I'd go. And so yeah, these are always fun as well because it's another 6 fans to screw in here. So I've just done 3 on the radiator. Now I've got to do 6 on the case. It's always fun. But we'll smash it out without threading the screws and without scratching the case. Guaranteed. Oh, we got a...
Did you order anything with my email account address?
I haven't done anything recently. What is it?
I have a delivery from the Lang Electronic.
Oh, maybe I did.
It's like, I don't remember ordering any electronics.
Well, it sounds like something I'd order, right?
Yeah.
So
That's why I'm like,
maybe you had an account for something and I didn't,
possibly.
and I was on there and I'm like, oh, sweet.
You were possibly using my computer.
Yeah, possibly. Considering I do use your computer a lot.
It is, it's going to be here tomorrow, Wednesday.
Okay.
Expect Mr. Mailman.
I don't even remember what I ordered. I order so many things, it's like... So, I want to have a quick look.
Nick says, you tell it him. I will. Poot in the foot there.
Oh no, I don't think I turned the bloody sleep mode off on the computer.
Oh, fuck.
Can you press the power button?
Yeah.
No, that's the wrong one.
Oh.
Other side.
Ah. That was the reset button.
Oh well. At least I've got a computer to build in the meantime. Let's see what's going on with that. Drive was successfully cloned. Excellent. Alright.
Made a masterclass video.
You should check it out.
It's a 93-minute video. Plus demos and there's an ebook. I don't really like ebooks though. I like books I can hold.
You should probably get into it because it's the way of the future. There'll be less and less paper books. You know I'm right.
You know what I'm like with screens though? I get headaches.
You need to get a Kindle. It's a different type of screen.
Yeah, it is.
It's designed,
Yeah,
it's
I know.
literally designed for people like you who get headaches from screens. It's designed so you can look at it long periods and it doesn't hurt your eyes. It's essentially as bright as like light reflecting off paper in a book. And that's why it doesn't hurt your
mum
eyes.
has one and she hasn't used it for ages now because she has that other tablet, but yeah.
Yeah. Alright, nearly done. Nearly 2/3 of the way through our fan mission. Alrighty. So while we're around this end, I'm going to plug this I/O shield in. Alrighty, that's in place. I'll put this back. Yeah. Hey everyone in Twitch land, how you going? Good to have you with us. So we're building a all white PC tonight. RTX 3060, i7-10700F. And all white components.
Why did those white fans come with black cables? That's
Because cheaper.
Yeah.
Okay.
Getting old. Happens to Dad too. I leave him there because we share.
So once we're done with this, we're going to turn our attention back to the other computer that we're working on, and we're going to load up Windows from the hard drive while we've taken the SSD out, and we're going to plug in a new 1 terabyte SSD, and we're going to clone the hard drive to the SSD. And then we'll delete what's on the hard drive, and then we will have the correct drive, the correct RAM, and the PC will be ready to ship to the customer. I don't make this mistake very often, but when I do it with 2 parts, not just 1. But at least we realise before I ship it out. I shorted this one guy a hard drive, but he was cool, and I got him a 1 terabyte SSD instead, so he was happy. Oh, I can nearly start the last fan. I can taste it. I can taste victory. For sure. I can taste victory, babe.
I have.
Nah, I seriously, I need to buy an electric screwdriver for these builds where I've got a million fans to screw in. It's so annoying.
These strong cables. Do you call it a strime or a strimmer?
Strimmer, I'm pretty sure, or streamer.
come in 2 different packets and you have to... Yeah. I screw around with this. These things are such a pain sometimes because they have these little like grommet thingies on them.
Hang on, we don't need to use that. We've got another spare one. We've got another spare one.
What do you mean?
We can use this. It'll be like a matching set.
That's cool.
Yeah, that'll be good.
No, that'll actually look better because these ones they're nice, but they're not like those ones.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not quite as good, I don't think, in my opinion. It's very subjective, though, eh?
It is. Well, I might pinch these for my grades. No? Tim's like, no.
Maybe.
I'll put them back in the box. Makes me sad, Panda.
You still haven't done that other cable.
Yeah, I know. I was gonna, but I've changed my mind now. I want them all to be like RGB. Can I get RGB CPU power cables?
No, I don't think so.
No?
But you could probably, I'm not sure of the pin configuration. Okay, so we've got our fans in place there now. So,
Well, do you have to refund the person any money because you're going to use that other one instead? Yeah.
I'll do something. I'll do something. Because yeah, there's probably $20 or so worth of value to be refunded.
Is it being shipped? Maybe don't charge so much for shipping? Or don't charge for shipping?
Maybe free express shipping.
Yeah,
Yeah.
free express. Do that.
We'll see what it costs. See what it costs. I don't want to commit to it, and it's like $100 extra or something.
It's like $130 for like express. And like, oh.
So on this
Half price.
motherboard, we have a Rgb header up the top here. Yeah, so we're gonna feed this to this one up here. Actually, want to bend that pin a little bit. Yeah, sweet. Love me a bit of bent pin action.
Bend those pins.
Have you seen the scissors?
I gave them to you and you used them.
I did that last night.
But I gave them to you earlier today. You're like, I don't remember that. They were on the floor. I remember picking them up and giving them to you today.
Yeah, I don't mean today. I mean, like, have you seen them recently?
No. I haven't seen them since I gave them to you. Oh, jeez. Tim.
Yeah.
Land 2000 seems really good PC.
Yeah, man, this is gonna be sweet.
Shane pins are like screwy, so they pee. 10700f RTX. 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 1
What's that?
Electric skewies at OP.
Yep. Alright, so just going to add some little fan splitters to this board now, because I'm going to run these behind the motherboard. So I've turned 2 into 4 there, so we've got 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're still one short. So I should have another splitter here somewhere. Splitter from extension. Possibly. An extension for fans. Yes. So I'm going to put this extension, I'm going to slide it underneath all of this. Just like that. Okay, so now we've got 3 fan headers that are turned into 6, and then we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4. Nice photo, babe. Alright, so we can probably go ahead and put our motherboard in the case now. So oh, the cable's off the motherboard already. You get that. Put that down here. This cable's out of the way. Huh?
Where are you putting this cable?
They go behind the radiator. That's what we did last night.
Yeah. I wasn't sure if you were doing anything different.
No.
We putting them through the grommet things.
No.
Oh, You got an alarm going off
Oh,
on your phone.
yeah, turn that one off. No, you can get it in there, trust me.
Yeah, I know. I'm just like, no, let me do it. I want to do it.
It's frustrating for me to watch.
Yeah, well, deal with that.
Being told.
Put my wife foot down.
I can see that. You can just use a bit of whiteout on them if you want, but it's not.
I don't have any whiteout though. I'd rather not do that though, because it might look shitty if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I don't think it looks bad at all. You can slide these little rubber things.
Yeah, that's what
up.
I'm trying to. Very good. I can't.
Have we got all of those bolts in? Yep.
Ah, that's alright. It's a computer. You get
Right.
cables, right?
I need to lift it up. Perfect. Excellent.
These two, are you gonna feed through the back?
Those ones, yeah, we're gonna conceal them.
Through here?
Yeah,
I reckon.
up through that corner there with the power cable.
Doesn't have much in it though.
Okay. Got one out here. Alrighty, so we've got a couple of fans plugged in there. RGB, RGB, RGB. Oh, did that? Can you press the power button on that? We need to shut that computer down. And we need to get ready for the next stage of that process. RGB.
Doesn't look like it has any plans. It's shutting down.
Oh, I'll make it shut down. But first I'm going to turn that power setting off. Okay. Shut that one down. And I'll finish sorting out some of these cables. So we've got fan. RGB, RGB, alrighty, I think, oh no, how did you get through there? RGB, alright. Oh, our cooler's just sitting there. Do you want to help? Do you want to help with something?
Okay.
Do you want to sit where I'm sitting and screw in some screws while I adjust the hard drives on that other computer? Or do you want to adjust the hard drive?
Okay. Don't really want to sit in the chair. But...
You can sit in the chair. Just those little brass bolts. I shall be back.
Okay. Oh.
Really quickly.
Christine's running the show. Oh. God. That stupid ankle. You right?
Yeah.
No. Oh, that one just doesn't want to go in. You don't know. Oh, this is the other computer.
All right. She might take a little bit longer to load now.
I see why that didn't want to go in. Oh, that one just doesn't have to go in now, does it?
It's not going to have a SPAC. Sometimes it has a SPAC going from SSD to hard drive.
You just wanted me to do this because you just don't like doing it.
No, I just wanted to keep going with the other.
It's the last one. The other, there's one that just
That's
really
all right.
doesn't want to
That's
go
all right.
in. The rest of them are in.
That's fine.
It's not going anywhere.
Alright, we're nearly in Windows. This is how slow a hard drive is compared to an SSD at booting Windows 10. Yeah, it's okay. It'll be fine.
Ow! Nah, some of them I didn't do up that tight because it was on a weird angle.
Can I have that mouse down there? Cheers.
Oh, fucking hell. How do you even navigate, like, behind here?
Yeah, it's getting
He's
a bit...
got so much shit here, it's ridiculous.
It gets a bit messy doing this. There's a lot of parts. Okay, so we are now, just so I show you, everything's a bit slower running on a hard drive. Come on. So we've just got our local disk C, which is a 1 terabyte drive there. So we're going to go into computer. We're going to manage. And we're going to wait a little bit because it's a hard drive. Waiting, waiting. Eventually computer management will open up.
When it wants to.
Eventually. It is doing something. Really? There you go. Alright, so it's found our 1 terabyte SSD there. So we're going to create a new simple volume. That doesn't matter because it's not going to be like that for long. Because we're going to do the exact same thing, but we're going to be putting this operating system from our hard drive back onto our new SSD, and then we're going to delete the hard drive. So we're just going to do the exact same thing as what we did before. So our source disk this time is our WD. Oh, what's happened here?
What the hell? Someone's touching the keyboard, no?
No.
What?
What is going on here? Plug in a keyboard and see what happens.
Oh, how did I do that the right way the first time? No?
There we go.
Yay!
Just didn't like no keyboard being plugged in there.
Christine did something that actually fixed something. Please don't.
Come on. to our NVMe drive. Yep. When it wants to. Yep. When it wants to.
It takes.
This is what hard drives are like.
I've been spoiled.
Mm-hmm.
I forgot what it was like. You know,
Yep, so we'll go
hard drive.
proportional.
This is not 1998 anymore.
Yeah, it could be worse. It could be the hard drive and the processor.
Yeah.
Alright, so now that we've got that going on, we can turn back to our screen. Can you?
Oh, sorry.
Alright, now we can continue with this PC build.
Thanks, Nick. He says, nice screwdriver action for a steady as she goes.
Can you see
I
that
haven't
sticking
done
out the
too
top?
many coolers, as you can tell. So, you know. Tim's normally the one who does it.
Alright, sweet. So we have one end plugged into the motherboard now, so we can begin our daisy chaining.
Makes the fans convenient by them to put in the best times.
Yep.
I'm sure they are.
Well, it's the one thing I always
Watching Tim.
it's the one thing I always
So-
complain about, right?
Yes. Always complained about that though.
Yeah, I know. Everyone's got that one thing that they're like, they hate about their job. Alright. Nearly there. Okay, and one last one on the end there.
Such a mess. Okay.
Oh. So just do one big bunch of these cables, and we're going to stash them back here and out of the way. So now we've just got these two white fan cables to plug in, and we'll plug them in around the side here. Oh, you can't fall out. Okay, so we've got our RGB and all of our fans hooked up, so we're just left with these front panel connections. So I might install that power supply wherever I put it. Hang on, what's going on? Oh no, it's doing its thing. Alrighty. Here's our power supply. Okay, so we normally put the power supply in relatively early in the build, but in this case it actually works out better to do it a little bit later. Alrighty, there we go. So now we've got all these power cables to sort out. So yep, we don't need any SATA or Molex cables. And we'll just put them up there, stash them out of the way. Okay, so we're going to need a CPU power, we're going to need our ATX power. We will only need one graphics card power cable, I believe. I'll just put that in there and it'll just sit in there. It doesn't need a zip tie. Then we're left with our CPU power cable, which we can run up here, and no, we'll run it like this. We'll tie it back. So we're going to use this CPU power cable to conceal the rest of these cables up there. But it's a finer point of cable management that I'll address later. Okay, so now we just have our front panel audio, which we can just feed down. We'll feed it down through here. There we go. There's our front panel audio cables connected. Okay, so we're left with our ATX and graphics card power, our USB 3 and USB-C, our front panel connections. So we'll get our front panel connections out of the way. Okay. Okay, so we've got power LEDs. Perfect. And so then we just got our USB-C. Just clip in there. And we have our USB-C. Alrighty. So we are very, very close. Okay, so moving back over here, our drive was successfully cloned. So we're going to shut this down. Alright, so okay. Peripherals. Where's our SATA configuration? No. So we're going to enable SATA hot plug. And so now we've disconnected our mechanical hard drive here with the cloned operating system, which is now on a 1 terabyte SSD. Look how much faster that loads up. So now that we've done that, we can plug in our other hard drive and we can see local disk D. And we'll go into our Windows Disk Manager and hopefully it'll let me do what I need to do here. Yeah. Oh, cool. There we go. There's our 1TB SSD and our hard drive. Happy days. So now we've got another computer that's ready to ship. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to put this one over here. And we can keep going with tonight's build. Full steam ahead now. So let me just make the screen bigger for y'all. Now it's time for our graphics card. Here it is. Got our Gigabyte factory seal tape. Here it is. All white RTX 3060. You can hold it up. So we are utilizing slots number 2 and 3. What if we install some Wi-Fi for him?
Do it.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to extend the antennas on this, but I'm not going to do it now, just so we can keep moving here tonight. Here's a little Wi-Fi card that we're going to put in this little slot here. So a bit of a free upgrade for Rhett. Okay, so we're just gonna put this card in for now. You can see there's actual antenna holes at the top here of our motherboard, and so I'll be able to screw these little gold pieces that are dangling there. I'll be able to screw them in up the top there. I just need to extend those cables there a little bit, so no big deal. Alright. So we're going to be utilising slots 2 and 3 here for our graphics card. Oh, got some sticky on here, I think. Oh no, not on there. Oh no, it is on there. Nothing on the back there. Okay. Okay, so we've got our graphics card installed. We've added a little CNVI Wi-Fi module with Wi-Fi 6 and Bluetooth 5.1, so that's pretty cool. And we'll add some cable extensions now. How should we do these cables, babe? I value your artistic opinion. I'm thinking out of necessity. I have to go like that.
Like that?
Because
Like, how much just go through that?
Because I was going to run the graphics card one. Out there. What do you think of that? That's not going to fit it all the way through there, but that's okay. sitting like that. Cable can come out through there. Yeah, that can just leave that there for now. Then I was thinking, oh no, I can't reverse it. No. Still have to come in from down here. You could do that if you wanted.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what you reckon?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna have to remove the power supply.
What? Why?
I'll just plug in one cable really quickly. I just have to move it like 2 centimeters up for like 5 seconds. Here we go, on 2 hours and 12 minutes. It's pretty good. Been pretty productive tonight. What?
Can it go like any further than that? But no, it's gonna sit like that.
That's pretty good. So don't mind that cable. Don't mind that cable. Just, it's fine. Like I said, you don't want to repeat of last night. Alrighty, we're at that point of the night. Okay, let's find my mouse. And do you want to maybe zoom the camera in on this? Oop, what's going on here? We have 3 fans without power.
And one's not spinning.
One's not spinning.
Yeah, one of the ones that's powered on the cooler. There it goes.
Okay, let's get this going while I'm troubleshooting the RGB. Okay. Okay. Yeah, should be.
All the end ones on now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I found this seems like sweet to me.
Yeah, it's looking good.
There's so much RGB in that motherboard. And it's got like basically a stripped down back of it. Didn't notice that. Is it a bad game or something?
Yeah, possibly.
Getting some of them to work, but not others.
We are going to just quickly test your power theory because this is a different chipset motherboard to what we were using before.
One of the top fans isn't spinning on the cooler.
That's lit them all up?
Yeah.
Yeah, alright.
Ivan's round.
Power.
Oh wait, no. One of
No, they're not
Oh.
connected.
Oh.
There.
Yay.
Okay, so which fan's not spinning?
The top, my left, if I'm looking at it from the front. So, your right. The bottom one on the right isn't, on your right, isn't spinning either.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Oop. Top one. Spin.
That's it?
Yep.
All the fans are working?
Yep. They're all spinning, they're all lit up.
Alright, what's going on here? Something's gone wrong with our Windows install while I wasn't paying attention.
Jesus.
Okay. So boot override.
It's so freaking bright. Gosh. Beacon.
Alright, let's start that whole Windows install again.
Why does that look so freaking bright on the video stream? It's brighter in the stream than it is. It's not that blinding. Like, it's bright, but it's not blinding.
Just leave it. Alright. Okay, so we're going to have to delete all of this stuff that was done previously because some sort of error was coming up because it failed halfway through, so we're just going to start again. I'm glad we don't have a dead fan. That's good.
It didn't seem like a power issue.
Yeah. It's just because we had an X570 board before, so it was putting out more juice to each header, more amps, also a bigger power supply. So, had a recent comment. Oh yeah, it looks sweet. Yes, it does.
Do you have an offset that you need to remove?
Yeah, I know. There's a couple. The weird shape of the board.
Oh yeah, I see. Died.
The
Did it-
fuck happened there?
Is it not supposed to do that?
No.
No. That's fuck happened there? Is it getting too hot?
Yeah, I think it is.
Ooh, did you not mount it?
That pump's no.
Huh?
That pump is not getting adequate power.
You want me to turn it on?
No. No, I'm all. I've almost fixed it. There you go.
Oh, it's calmed down now.
Yep.
It's not so loud.
So we weren't getting enough power delivered to the pump, and that was what was causing our problems. So your CPU's already had a burn-in test. No, that's good.
Tim, Nick says should be able to see that case from the moon, I reckon.
Yeah, I reckon.
Yeah, dude. The freaking beacon. Nick says CPU temp is pretty high when you went into BIOS.
What was it, Nick? I wasn't even pay. Mick, what was it? I didn't even see.
We're not even paying attention.
Or I wasn't thinking that. I know I mounted that cooler right. Now I know I've plugged it in, so.
Nick reckons about 175 C+.
Yeah, yep. That's what it was. But now the pump is hooked up via Molex.
Let's see what it is now. I reckon it's...
Oh, it's fine now. Like I can feel the cables. One is hotter than the other. It's pretty much all you need to know. And there was a real hot spot behind here, and now there's just a warm spot. Lukewarm. Yeah, it's just a bit of air circulating around. It'll balance itself out.
Mine still doesn't.
Yeah, that's because of how you had the pipes.
I had it around that way when I installed it, and it was totally fine. And then when I put that freaking 5950X in it and started bloody gurgling. It's the 59. It's AMD.
No, it's not. Nothing to do with that.
Well, then why was it like fine before?
You probably just didn't notice it, and then after you changed it, you noticed it.
No.
Alrighty, we are in Australia. Alright, so it's got our Wi-Fi being detected.
Makes sense. I think it's worth spending a few extra bucks on a slightly better Jimmy PSU rather. PCU.
Yeah, but I'd say
Running a stack of
it's
RGB,
it's not about the. It's really very unlikely got to do with the power supply, and has everything to do with the chipset of the motherboard itself, because that sort of has more to do with the voltage delivery on the motherboard itself. So I would be guessing that has more to do with it than the fact that this is a 650 watt power supply and not a 750 watt power supply. Just considering how little power the RGB lights actually consume, it's like nothing. Like all the RGB in there is using maybe maybe 30-40 watts of power
Yeah, I was gonna
for
say,
everything.
It's like turning on your bedside lamp.
Yeah, it's not really using that much power. Where is... So we'll plug in an Ethernet cable. We'll plug in our portable NVMe drive. Alright, so we'll put down some custom desktop icons. We won't be installing Ryzen Master because this is an Intel system. No WD products.
Tim,
Yeah.
makes sense to stick multimeter on it. Multimeter for shits and giggles.
Comparison between that and an X570 or something.
Power supply, multimeter. Tim, multimeter.
Yeah.
Power supply.
Yeah. Yeah, if the RGB was going to push our power supply over the limit, that would be the least of our problems right now. So we have an ASRock Steel Legend B460. So we will get some updates here. She's got the shits with me. Oh. Yep. Okay, so we want App Shop. That's it. Okay, well that's coming along. GeForce Experience. Okay, what else have we got? Here's our graphics card driver installing. Okay, how's that going? It's coming along. Yep. Let's get our benchmarking apps going on. Yeah, man, it looks awesome, eh? Absolutely stunning. Alrighty. So let's set up Reaver Tuner quickly here. So this is always Control F10, F11, F12. So if you're wondering how to turn off the overlay, that's how you do it. %. Oh, what's decided to force us to restart? It's kind of painful because those Windows updates weren't yet done. Alright, I'm going to go for a toilet break while this is doing its thing. Oh, true. Oh, fuck.
That's creepy.
Yeah, that is pretty creepy. Oh, that's what did it. The ASRock update. It's annoying. It like automatically restarts.
Listen, people's comments.
No, I've seen him. I've seen him.
You know Nick's gone yet?
Yeah. Yeah, and I spoke to Rhett about his comments. It's going to continually do its thing now, restarting. Luckily, there's not too many to install.
I like seeing like these cables like in an angle, but it's so satisfying seeing it like that.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Okay, so now that we've got this sorted, yeah.
Bond says this PC looks lit. Yeah, dude. It's pretty. Oh, what are you doing? It was fine. Ew. What was that?
Yeah, don't worry about the RGB that's gone out here. I'm fixing it. Has this thing finished its...
This has been pissing me off. It's gotta go. I'm just staring at it. Why do they have to make it so sticky?
Okay. So how's those temps looking? Yeah, look at that. Getting down to 23 degrees. So let's turn the limits off this CPU. We can't overclock it, but we can turn the limits off. Alright. There we go. So Windows is all updated. Everything else is all updated. Steam, Battle.net, Epic Games, Origin. Okay. So there we go. So there's the 10700F, pretty much on par with a 9600KF or a 10600KF or a 9900K out of the box, a 9700K, just below a 10700K. It's not really a great deal of difference, so if you're overclocking, it's 10700F, it's not a bad way to go. We have a look at multi-threads. You can see 10700F sitting down here, 9900, Ryzen 5000 laptop, 4000 laptops, Xeon mobile. So yeah, that's where the 10700F sits. So a pretty good CPU, not like the top high-end level, but you know, still pretty good. And single threads. Yeah. Alrighty, well, let's have a look. Hang on, our benchmarks didn't seem to install. Let's get these going on. Set the date and time. Oh, what am I doing? Alrighty, let's do first run through on Heaven.
I'm actually kind of glad this build doesn't have any strips in it. It's be so strips in it too. Holy shit. Bright enough as it is.
fuck's sake. Are you serious? Alrighty. I think I got that fixed just in time for the next benchmark. Oh. camera. It's auto adjusting. You could probably turn that function off.
It's not like that dark now.
That's all good.
It is.
What? I need to send it, so it's going to be undone again. I just wanted to do it up.
The sticky on the inside of this, will just bubble eventually, and it looks murky anyway. So.
Alright, let's do a 4K run.
So pretty.
Why are we not seeing statistics? heap of stuff installed. There you go. Sure, it's not much fun for people if they can't watch the stats. It's all running pretty good. CPU's ice cold. Alright, sweet as. Yeah.
Just because the way my motherboard is orientated in that shroud thing, I don't think I'd be able to fit those Rgbs. I'd have to get those in the other ones. Because they're more bendy.
Oh, you'd be able to fit it. Because you just have the angle going down further. So looks like it's sustaining 4.6, which is pretty good. It's 82 maximum so far. But yes, this is the stress test. So we're at the end of this build. Well, not really, because we've got a little bit of extra work to do. Well, I've got a little bit of extra work to do because I'm going to fit the Wi-Fi up the top here, and then this will be a very full feature rig. There's another cable. Yeah, I know. So that's what ignoring limits does. It's just gonna stay there at that higher clock speed. And because we've got a good cooler on it, it's gonna keep it in line. Because Intel chips by default have like a time limit on the turbo. I've basically told it to ignore that. Just turbo away. And so we can't overclock it on this platform, but with this CPU and this motherboard, but we can ignore the limits. So you can get a bit of extra performance out of your CPU if you've got an F series Intel chip. Yeah, so this is going to pass with flying colours. I can tell you that now. So, look, if anyone else has any other questions or anything like that, questions about the drive cloning we did on the other PC, general inquiries about new computers, or just any other questions that you have before I sign off for the night, now is the time to hit me with them. No, I think that's pretty much it. Well, have a good one, everyone. I hope you enjoyed tonight's video. A little bit of extra stuff incorporated in the build. Fixing that other PC. What's Rhett said? No worries, man.
Hope you enjoy.
So yeah, like I said, I'll get that little Wi-Fi Bluetooth card, the aerials, hooked up for you. I've just got to extend those cables, so I got to do a bit of cutting and splicing of wires, but that's alright. It's no problems at all. Alright, have a good one, and I'll see you all in the next video.